Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I've been excited to talk about this for a while. It's been about a week. Has it been a week? Has it been out a week? Maybe,
Wait,
maybe, maybe my guest Owen Quinn will know. He's alive. He's alive.
oh
It's
yeah,
Owen Quinn.
don't even talk to me.
Are
Don't even talk to me.
are you not quite alive?
I wasn't alive. So what I was going to tell you was I saved this for the podcast. It'll be the opening of the podcast. So on Thursday, I went for a renal kidney checkup. Everything was great. I also ripped my nail off my big toe, so there's blood everywhere. It was like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh Jesus!
And in in with the consultant, he said, "Did you get your vaccinations?" I said, "No, I had the flu. I had a couple about a month and a half ago. It's fine, not getting and COVID vaccinations. No, no, not after all that drama." I says, "I'm fine. I've had it. I'm not getting it again." Woke up Friday morning, had no voice.
Oh
I
no!
just thought, do you know that thing you put the scud on? As in to explain it to anybody that doesn't know what the word scud means. Never say that'll never happen to me. I'll never get hit by a meteor because you will get hit by a meteor. So what I say is I couldn't move all weekend with a
Jesus!
chest infection.
Wow!
And when I'm sick, I have really weird dreams, right?
Right. Oh
You know,
no! Where's this going?
I was telling people at work this morning, and I went, "There's something wrong with you." I went, "No, stay, swear to God." So, you know, where you go for sleep when you're sick and you think you've slept for hours, and then you realize it's only been for an hour.
Yeah.
So, I dreamt on um, Saturday night, whatever it was, that I was trapped by Pennywise, the clown from it, and he
Right.
was killing people left, right, and center just to annoy me. And he's like, everything I did to stop him, what didn't work. There's no actual ending to that. It was just a constant nightmare of him killing people and me trying to save him and completely failing and him being his normal evil himself. And then last night, when I finally went to sleep, I dreamt I was a talking frog on a cruise ship. Right?
Right.
So, but the worst was I was a celebrity impersonator as a frog, and I was impersonating. Do you remember Dallas, the soap opera Dallas with J.R. Ewing and
I
all of it?
do, yeah.
Yeah. So I was me and another frog girl. We were impersonating Jock and Miss Ellie.
Oh,
Why I was impersonating Jock on a cruise ship, and she wasn't doing what she should be doing. So me and her were fighting all the time. So I went from Pennywise the clown to talking frog, but I think it's because one of my characters in Balin Free is a talking frog.
there you go. It must have got into your head.
So it must get me because I just actually finished the second chapter of book 8. So that was my weakness. I woke up this morning and I didn't go to work. I was sitting in the attic on the computer going to work. So I was telling everybody this morning,
Well,
and
that
I'm going,
that is a wacky
"That's
time altogether.
that's a wacky time." So that was my lovely weekend. Anyway, and then I watched Welcome to Derry this morning, which was is just an amazing show. It's just an amazing
I
show.
am really excited to check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
Wow. So I
Yeah.
mean, it goes much further than the movies,
Yeah.
much further than the movies,
How
but it's
many
so
how many
well done.
episodes is it?
4 so far,
Yeah.
and
Uh
4. I mean, the first 10 minutes of the first episode, your jaw will drop, and I was because like you're not expecting it to be so graphic,
mm,
but it is so good, so good.
yeah. I'll definitely have to get on that. So today we're talking about Frankenstein, and myself and Owen have a bit of a difference of opinion on this one, so it should be interesting. So the way we're going to do these moving forward is we are going to have our non-spoiler section first, and then give our recommendations. So if you want to go watch it, go watch it, and then we will dig into spoilers and go into a bit more detail about why we liked or disliked certain elements of this movie. All right, you ready to go, Owen?
Let's go.
Right, so my non-spoiler thoughts about this movie. So it's going to become quite apparent that I like this movie, Owen does not. But we'll dig into it and hopefully it'll be a fun conversation. So pluses, well, I think the movie looks beautiful. Being a Guillermo del Toro movie, it is quite likely to look very very nice, and I think this looks really well. I really like the art direction. I think it's a very well directed movie. I think the performances are great. Um, I think the character work is very solid. I really like the conclusion to the movie. Now, this movie is quite different than the book. There's some big changes. So I like the conclusion in the context of this particular version of the story. Um, I really like the intro to the monster where you get to see how powerful he is, and he's just wrecking dudes. So yeah, were you gonna say something there?
No.
Okay, I think you made one of your weird noises.
Wait, wait. You have a chest infection. There's all sorts of weird noises coming out of me at the weekend.
All right, so if you hear any weird noises, that's just Owen trying to
It's
stay
just
alive.
me. It's
Um,
not Frankenstein or his monster.
there's a lot of similarities between you and the creature, I think, but we'll get to
There
that.
is.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, we're all right enough. There is.
You know. Yeah, so I like the intro to the monster where we get a sense of just how powerful he is. I think Jacob Elordi, is that how you pronounce his name? Elordi. Uh,
Lordy, yeah.
yeah, I think he's great as the monster. I think he's both intimidating and he's also sympathetic when he needs to be. So that was a great choice. I only knew him from the kissing booth. That's the only other thing I've seen him in.
Never
um,
heard of him.
yeah. So yeah, keep in mind there are big differences from the book. So if you're a big fan of the book, it's going to be maybe a matter of taste as to do you like the changes or not, or are you such a hardcore fan that you don't like any changes from the book? I mean, that's all up to you, but there are some big differences.
But
Um,
then is not every version of Frankenstein, most version of Frankenstein, the monster? See, my friend bugs me on this because I always call it the monster Frankenstein. He goes, no, it's Frankenstein's monster.
yeah,
But it's Monster Squad. It's Frankie. Um,
Frankie, yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's for Frank. Um, I always thought I like Frankenstein. Always did. As the black and white straight up. And if it's a good version, it's a good version. But I always thought there was the sympathetic element to the monster.
yeah,
In most of them, probably not Christopher Lee's in the Hammer one, but because it's a victim,
yeah,
it didn't ask for this.
yeah,
So I always felt, even with the Boris Karloff, the Monster Squad, you know, I love that one with the guy from Batman that played Two Face. There's always that. I thought it's like a werewolf. It's a victim. It never chose to be like this. It this was done to him rather than his wish
yeah,
for it to be done
yeah,
for him
yeah,
rather to him. So I always thought that that sympathetic thing was always there. I thought he's a bit of a Hulk in this one.
yeah.
He was like
He's
beating around him.
he is a bit of a Hulk in this one. He's a bit of a tank. He's like taking on a group of lads and getting the better of them, and he's able to push the. Oh, actually, I won't get into too much
No,
just because we're still non-spoilery.
but no one
Um,
spoilery.
so it is a long run time, and some people have said that they're put off or a bit intimidated by the runtime. But I think if you're patient with it, there's a lot in here that's worth your time, and I recommend Frankenstein. Owen, give us your
But
spoiler-free thoughts, and then let us know. Do you recommend Frankenstein?
2.5 hours I'll never get back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually was watching it and it turned away for a second. Suddenly there was a monster. And I went, "Hold on, where'd he come from?" Um, it's not for me. It's not for me. When I hear a movie go, "Oh, it's based on the novel now," but this one is very much based on the novel. As you said, a few changes, but the
There are some
way,
big changes from the novel. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Uh,
looking at them here actually on the internet. What the changes are, and one is this of Victor Frankenstein's story, how he tells it, and how the monster tells his side of the story.
yeah.
I don't know. It's if you're gonna be faithful book, that's great. But I don't think, maybe I'm just, as I said, too used to the other versions. Um, to sort of invest in this, I just couldn't get my head into it.
Right. Okay.
Yes, it is beautifully shot. I mean, certain thing, and I'm trying not to be spoilery. There, it is beautifully shot. The performances are very good, especially Oscar Isaac, is it?
Oscar Isaac, yeah.
Yeah, he surprised me. I just thought, no, that's not going to work, but he actually did worked very well. The monster, I thought, mm, a bit generic.
You think so?
Yeah, a bit generic. Elizabeth and her role was changed from the book. I sort of thought, right, okay, it's a bit too modern for
Okay.
somebody of that time.
Okay.
You know, why she was gung ho and opened her mouth every 2 seconds. I just thought that's not really reflective of the time. Love to see anything with David Bradley in it, because David Bradley has done loads like Mount Pleasant. He's the first Doctor Who, well, recast Doctor Who. Um, he's did Harry. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. He's done Game of Thrones. He actually did the Red Wedding,
Yeah.
which a friend of mine, Kelly Long, was the unfortunate victim in that scene where he
Ah.
told him to cut their throat. Yeah, so Kelly and she said he's a lovely man, very, very nice. So I'm quite fond of David Bradley. I like to see what stuff he's in. What I want to meet, I wish somebody would hurry up and bring him over to Northern Ireland because they haven't done it yet. He's only across the road.
Yeah.
Um, Cast wise, Charles Dance was a bit of a bitch to his kids, but that was reflective of the time, I thought.
Yeah, we'll get more into that in a minute.
Mm.
So,
But
do you
it wouldn't
recommend?
be, well, to be a completist, if you're Frankenstein, go ahead, but it's not one I'm going to run back to ever.
Yeah. It's one I will probably watch again in a couple of years. I'll probably revisit it.
Uh, it's
Yeah.
almost like this is what he said, and this is what he said, and that's your lot. Thanks very much. I think it's the, and why did you give me a movie to review when I can't even pronounce David Batista, and you give me a Guillermo? Is it Guillermo? I say I can't tell.
Go on.
Del
You
Toro.
have it.
What?
Guillermo del
Is it?
Toro.
Is it Guillermo? Your man that did Blade, that one,
Yeah.
and putting Blade in would have been quite good in this one,
Blade versus
especially at the start.
Frankenstein. Yeah.
Blade versus Frankenstein. I love it. I like the Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman, all that sort of thing. It's great.
Mm.
Love all that. So it's beautiful. It's very well done. Great performances, but just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I can understand some people's issues with it, but overall, I think it's a good movie, and I would recommend giving it a shot. Right, from here on out, we are going into spoiler territory. So if you have not seen it and you want to see it, go watch it. It's on the Netflix. Um, we are, and if you're on the fence and maybe you're not sure if you want to watch it, maybe listening to some of our spoiler thoughts might persuade you one way or the other. Um,
Well,
so
I think when you watch a movie, you know. Do you know what I mean? Especially this day and age. You don't have to be sitting in the cinemas. You've times you go into the cinema to watch a film and you're going to come out of it and go, a waste of money. But in
mm,
this day and age, you sort of don't need to do that. I think it's easier to make up your mind if you're going to stick with the film or not
right,
than it is in the old days, if you know what I mean.
yeah. So
Because
as
you have
you
the power of the movie.
Yeah. As you were saying earlier, we see a young Victor, and he has a very abusive dad, played by the great Charles Dance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so his dad is trying to push him into being great.
Yeah.
He doesn't want him to let the family name down, so he's quite harsh, quite abusive. And Victor, Victor, his motivation for wanting to do everything he does in the movie, create new life, cheat death, and all that. There seems to be two elements to it. One is that the death of his mother hit him quite hard, and two, he wants to prove that he's better than his dad. He wants to be superior to him. So those two elements combined are his motivation for going down this path. What did you think of the stuff about his childhood?
Firstly, social services. Did they not exist in that time? fella getting hit, cut in the face now with a sword. What sort of does that? Um, the mother son thing is grand. I
Yeah,
think
so
it's more
Victor
than he
had
wants. I think he wants to be. It's more than he wants to be better than his dad. His dad failed to save his mother in childbirth, so he wants
yeah, yeah,
that.
exactly.
He wants to not beat his dad. He wants to be the one to control life
Yeah,
and make sure that the pain of losing his mother, even it never gets felt again.
yeah,
Least of by him. I don't even think he's thinking about the world, really, to be honest. Even though he's in front of those doctors, and that was quite brilliant. I have to say that part where he whips the tarp off, and there's like half a corpse sitting, and he's throwing ball at it and stuff.
yeah,
Um, that was really cool because I didn't expect that. But I think it's more it's more a self-destructive thing rather than let's help the world thing.
yeah.
Although
Because Victor does
he
have he has a big ego and he wants to play God.
yeah, but he's playing God because of his pain, not because he doesn't want anybody else to go through that pain.
I think
But he doesn't recognize it.
it was the pain of losing his mother, but also there is a massive element of ego about it and proving that he's superior than his dad.
Mm,
Um,
I disagree with you on that one, but
how so?
because as I just said, um, he wants. It's not that he wants to be bad in his dad. He wants to do to stop that pain from ever happening again. So
But
he wants to
he
conquer death.
he mentions that in the movie that he wants to show that he wants to be better than his dad was.
But I just think that's a bit of a show. The real cause of it, him as a character wanting being the way he is the dad. He's abused child. He's an abused child. There's no two ways about it. Even the way his dad was teaching him and the thing was baiting him, and I just thought, yeah. But I just think the mother didn't have weird coffins in them days.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was just made up for the movie or if that was an actual thing, but it looked
Neither do
really
I.
cool.
But I just thought, see, I'd be awful nosy because I'd be walking past, and if somebody says, "If you left that stone face, you'd be able to see the corpse,"
Oh
I wouldn't
Jesus.
know. I'd be afraid. I wouldn't do it after 6 months or nothing because I wouldn't like to see what's there. But I
Yeah.
just thought that's a bit bizarre. I don't think they're real, to be honest.
Yeah, I must look that up, but they look really cool. I don't know if he was
Oh,
just going for like an unusual style for the movie or if that was actually accurate to the time. I've no idea.
yeah, I think it might have been the style. The movie is very stylish. There's no two ways about it. It is
Yeah, I
very
mean, Del Toro tends to be
epic.
very stylish with his movies.
Yeah, I'll give him a nice. I mean, I like him. That's probably the only reason I watched it
Yeah.
was because it's his name. Because I love the strain,
Mm,
love the blades.
yeah. Do you
But
like and Hellboy, of course?
Hellboy I like, but I'm not. I can take it or leave it.
Right. Okay.
Even though we met Ron, we'll just put that in again for the 1500th time. Even though we met Ron, um, I'm not a huge Hellboy
If you want to
fan.
hear
To be
myself
honest.
and Jack Markham talk about Hellboy for an hour and a half, there will be a playlist. It's in our movies playlist. Go check that out. It was good fun to talk about.
Or if
So
they want to hear us talk about it for like 30 seconds, stay we are.
so yeah, so I think this is interesting. So when Victor creates new life, he's abusive to him. He's abusive. I'm going to call him the
Mm.
creature. It feels unfair calling him the monster. I mean, creature's not
Okay.
great either, but
No, I'd go Frankie. Frankie Jr.
we'll call him Frankie.
Frankie Jr. Yeah, we'll go
Frankie
Frankie.
Jr. So when Victor creates Frankie Jr., um, he's he mirrors his dad in a lot of ways because he's quite abusive to the creature. He calls it, and
The
he
thing only knows one word is his name.
his name, yeah, all he can say is Victor, and Victor's getting frustrated because he's very disappointed with his creation and how unintelligent he seems to be, and he ends up wanting to undo what he did. He's like disgusted by this creation, and he decides that he wants to just get rid of it and have nothing more to do with it. He calls it a mistake, and as I said before, he keeps calling it and not him. Doesn't even give him a name, which is pretty mean. Yeah, so he's disgusted by what he created and he wants to destroy it. Um, there's a moment where he has the creature chained up and he's pouring gasoline everywhere and he sets the place on fire and he leaves the building. But there's a moment where he turns back because there's just this moment where he wants to save the creature. Why do you think in that moment he turns back?
It's his
Do you
life.
think it's guilt or because it's his life's work and he regrets?
I think it's his life's work. To be honest,
Yeah,
I mean the creature. I don't know. The appearance of the creature is not like any other Frankie Junior that you've seen before. So obviously it's not going to be the Hollywood Frankenstein with the bolts and that kind of stuff. But it put me in more mind of Prometheus. The engineers from Prometheus.
I've seen that brought up. Yeah, where people compare it to
Yeah.
the
Or
engineer.
or an Alien Romulus, the alien hybrid at the end of Alien Romulus. Put me in mind of that. I just thought for something that is made from the parts, dead body parts of other people. I don't know. Maybe I thought that look at the creature, where looks so skinny, and yet when you see at the start of the movie, it's throwing ice and killing people with a slap. It just didn't look as powerful as I thought it would have.
It's
But I
like,
mean, that's the direction they want to go. That's grand.
well, the thing is, it's a very lean monster, but he's tall. Like he's
Yeah,
a really tall. I think Jacob
yeah,
Elordi's a very tall dude.
yeah. But tall, but not bulky. If you do you know what I mean? It's that Boris Karloff, broad Frankenstein coming at you sort of thing. No her. I don't know. It's just maybe it's too much of a departure. But again, I haven't read the book, so I'm not sure if that was the original. Is the gorilla is Blade the fella that Blade? Is he
Just
keeping?
one quick second. I just have to pause for just 1 second. And we're back. Sorry about that. I just had to deal with something IRL real quick. Owen, continue your thought. I apologize for the interruption.
I can't remember. It's been that long since you interrupted me.
You were
Oh no, it
saying
did.
how
It's
much
the I
you
don't know whether Del Toro took that the look of the monster from the book. I actually don't know how it's described in the book. So maybe is book accurate as opposed to the Hollywood version that we're all sort of used to.
Yeah, I
Um,
do like the book. I haven't read it in a while, so I can't remember the exact descriptions of it. It's been a long time since I've read it, so I'm not too sure. Let us know in the comments if you know how
yeah,
accurate.
okay, well, I know Doctor Who touched on that in the 13th Doctor's era when she accidentally gave the idea of Frankenstein to Mary Shelley. But it was to do with Cybermen and stuff like that. So Cybermen are technically made up from dead people
Yeah.
and genes.
Are you curious to read the book?
No, I haven't. I swear, and it's not that I'm maybe not curious is the wrong thing. I honestly don't have time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was up finishing doing the next book of Ballon Free because I've done 4 in 2 weeks. Um, kids' books are much easier, I have to say. Because you're dealing with a shorter story, and it seems to be
I think
well, it's quick.
they're easier in
It's
some
quicker if you have the idea.
they're easier in
It's
some
like every
ways, but
story.
they have their own difficulties as well. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
it's trying not to write like an adult to kids and sort of keep it simple.
Yeah.
But
So
it's interesting.
so
But
when Frankenstein he turns back to because he wants to maybe stop what he started, and then just before he gets to the door, the building explodes, and
yeah,
that's when he loses his leg. So he ends up with a prosthetic leg after that. The creature did escape, and the creature kind of then, he learns a lot of life lessons in this section where he's kind of on his own. He learns that people are going to be hostile towards him because of how he looks and because of the nature of what he is. He does want to try and fit in and live a normal life and all that, but he learns that that's just not going to happen. What do you think of that section where it's the creature on his own? learning
See,
lessons. And also, I like the
yeah,
fact that so the creature starts off bald, but you get a good sense of the passing of time because of his hair growing.
yeah. Or I stole a wig, one of the two.
Maybe he stole a wig.
Along the way, I put
Maybe that
this
was
wee
in a
wig
deleted scene.
on. Well, see, I like that because it's dealing with you're dealing with big themes that are universal. So it's that Beauty and the Beast thing. Just because you look ugly, or you don't look what society expects you to look like.
Mm.
Because what is normal, really, at the end of the day. Because funny, one of the stories I've just put on is the thing with the strawberry face. And it's about a kid with a strawberry birthmark who is not ostracized by the other kids and stuff. So and it was when I was watching Frankenstein, I was thinking of that.
Yeah.
Because it takes a blind man to see clearly
Mm.
what the rest of them can't see. He sees the spirit of the forest. He called him at the start. Um, it takes him to see the monster, Frankie Junior's soul, not what Frankie Junior looks like.
Yeah.
So that's a universal theme, and it's the right thing because Victor didn't know what he was creating. He just wanted to create to conquer life because it was actually his brother who gave him the final key on how to do it with the subdued nervous system
Yeah.
or the submerged nervous system. So that was the key, but he opened the door, but he doesn't know how to lock it again. So that's why the monster is what it is. But he didn't realize by using all these body parts and that the brain and stuff, what exactly was he creating? It was that sort of Jurassic Park thing. He knew he could do it, but he never stopped to ask, should he do it?
Yeah. Exactly. I,
What is
I
it?
like some of my favorite stories have that theme of playing God and
Yeah.
it not going quite right and the your own hubris being your undoing. And there's a
Mm.
lot of that in this.
What you don't mean, yeah, Isaac Oscar is just brilliant at it, and that
I think he was really good casting. I think he's very good in this.
yeah. Do you know that same intensity Robert Downey Jr. had as Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
I was at that. It reminded me of that, and he's so focused, so directed, even in every line, every action. You could see it. He was really putting the work into that to make the character come alive, which he did brilliantly. But I think when the monster and the blind man is a timeless theme, really, and then who comes and screws it all up, but people that can see. And the first thing you look at, oh, it's a monster. Let's shoot it. So man will always shoot, will always try and kill what he does or destroy what he doesn't recognize as
What he
normal.
fears and doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's sort of like, right. So that's massive. So it also reinforced the mon Frankie Junior that he'll never be accepted. He'll never be able to live a normal life. And he'll always be alone. Which is why I said to him, he says, "Can you make me a mate?"
Yeah,
Which
so
was
he
the Bride of
tracks down
Frankenstein.
Victor and he wants to he tries to convince Victor to make him a companion and Victor
Mm,
refuses.
yeah,
And you know, ultimately throughout the story the creature ends up wanting to die and he wants Victor to figure out a way to kill him.
yeah.
What
But
do
you
you think?
can't do it because he doesn't know how he did it in the first place.
Yeah, so he even tries dynamite at one stage and that doesn't work.
It's like Captain Jack Harkness and Doctor Who. You just can't kill him because he keeps coming back. Funny, just when you mentioned that when they set fire to the house and the monster escaped, that I thought maybe I'm wrong, but when the building collapsed and he went into the underground water and stuff, you've seen that before in the old movies. No, the original Frankenstein is like the tower burning, but he always managed to escape by falling through into something else. Even with the one where the Wolfman meets Frankenstein. The two of them have the big fight at the end, and they're smashed by a big ice floe, and so they're
Say that one more time, you just cut out there. Hello?
frozen again and go underneath in the water. Did you get that?
Yeah, sorry, just
Did you
say
hear
that
me?
one more time.
Yeah. See the in the old movies where the towers built the I near said the pensioners, not the pensioners, the villagers all come up. Um, sorry, pause 1 sec.
Yeah, no worries. And we are back again. Owen was just being
No,
harassed by rabid fans again.
I know I'm sick of them. I had to get barbed wire fence and 6 Rottweilers for the front door.
They're like,
Um,
where's Time Warriors number 26 already, Owen? Come on.
my God. and so what I'm saying was the how the monster escaped when he fell into the building collapsed on fire, and he went into the river and the sewers. Don't know what they were. That was very reminiscent of the old movies.
Yeah.
No, and especially with the sequels. And I didn't realize only a few years ago that there was so many sequels to the 30s movies, Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman. They had a whole Universal universe done back then,
Mm,
which they couldn't replicate now. But I like that fact is that there's the old escape and it's a classic and you should always have it.
there you
The
go.
underground water to take you in.
Mm.
Because
So,
it always seemed to work.
yeah, so we're going to talk about the conclusion to this movie in a second. So, as I said, Victor has a big ego and he wants to play God. And, this is, again, a lot of my favorite stories have this theme of like the humans being the real monsters and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this has that as well. Like Victor's the real monster of the story, and he eventually realizes that, and he wants the creature to forgive him. He says to him, "Forgive me, my son." Um,
But is that him? It is him, but I think it also reflects his father. He didn't have that with his father,
right.
if
See,
you know what I mean. So
so
I think there's still father issues in that statement where he wants to forgive him because his father didn't even recognize the fact that he needed forgiveness from Victor, especially when the second son came along and Victor was just on the sides. All the
yeah,
attention was focused on the other kid.
yeah, um, yeah. So as we said, the creature wanted to die, but he couldn't. Um, and Victor says to him, "If death is not to be, then consider this, my son. While you are alive, what recourse do you have but to live?" So he's
Mm.
trying to get the creature to flip his mindset. And then the creature forgives Victor just before Victor dies. I like this conclusion to this particular version of the story. What do you think about it?
It's good symmetry. It is good storytelling symmetry because at the end of the day, the monster um, isn't the monster, and he has an audience to see that. He's got all those sailors on the ship that everybody now having heard both sides of the story now realizes that Victor should never have done what he done, and he's cursed this creature, who is to all intents and purposes human. He is human because he's made of human parts. He has a soul. He has a poetry in his heart,
Yeah,
and he does the very thing you'd least expect him to do when he comes after beating the crap out of those poor sailors and killing a couple of them. Um, he forgives him and doesn't kill him, regardless of him dying.
mm.
He could have snapped his neck, but he didn't.
He could have tortured him. He could have made him
Yeah,
suffer. Yeah,
he has the humanity to go, no, actually, do you know what? Every father wants his son to be better than him. And in this case, ironically, Frankie Jr. is much superior to Victor Frankenstein.
there you go. That's
And
a
he's
good
also
point.
he's also cursed him because now technically he's got eternal life.
Oh, and are you
Um,
sure you didn't like this movie? Because you're making a lot of good points for it.
but well, no, well, see, I like those sort of themes. It's sort of like
Yeah,
it's the human factor. As I said to you, the Time Warriors. Anybody can write a story about flesh-eating monsters coming over the mountain, but why are they coming over the mountain? Why do they want to eat people? What's the motivation? What's the reason? Is
yes,
it their own fault? Is there something environmental, or is there another agenda behind the whole thing? So it's that Clive Barker. I always go back to Clive Barker. Your villains need to speak eloquent evil.
yeah,
Frankie should be quoting evil, but it's not in him because he's not the evil one. He's the victim, and his dad is the monster, as we've said repeatedly. But it's almost like a vicious circle of child abuse that has finally been broken.
That's a really good point of view. Yeah, and
Thanks
I
very
mean,
much. 50 quid, nice.
and Victor's
But it
response.
is, you know what I mean.
Sorry.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the writing, regardless of anything else, regardless of execution, which is lovely. And yeah, I think it is too long to be honest with you. But
No, I'm not. I'm
you
not gonna
can't
lie.
get away from the themes.
It could absolutely be trimmed down a bit. Like I don't think you could trim it down that much, but there's certainly things you could cut out and uh, make it a little leaner for sure. But
Well, I read today that the new Avatar is going to be the longest movie in history.
oh god,
I'll not be
how long
watching
is
it.
that?
About 14 days. Um,
14 days
I'll
long.
not be watching it. I didn't watch the other one. Now, here's the thing about the length of movies. I always thought 3 hours long in a movie. I was like, sweet Jesus Christ, no, it's far too long. I watched the first Lord of the Rings and went, oh, that's far too long. I watched the Two Towers and went, was that really 3 hours? Because it flew past, it was so good. So I'm not as resistant to a long movie.
Yeah,
Um,
I think once it's all about does it justify its runtime?
yeah,
You know.
Titanic. I avoided Titanic for so long, and then I watched it one Sunday afternoon, and it was just the best thing. And it didn't feel like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's when you, what was I was watching something the other night, Playdate,
Oh
and
right.
it just, oh, no, it
Yeah.
just went on forever. It's not a big long movie, but I just think
It just
there's
drags.
just a tendency to go put a 2 hour movie out, put a 2.5 hour movie out. Infinity War and games, yes, they justify that length because they were good, but I just think I think you need to look at the movie and the story
Yeah.
in order to justify the running time.
Yeah, it's very situational. You know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think generally these days, films and even TV shows are a lot longer than they need to be. You know,
yeah,
some of my favorite films are quite long, but you have to justify the runtime. And I think
yeah.
there's this fear, I think, in modern filmmaking of wanting to cut stuff out, but you have to learn like what's necessary, what's not. Now, sometimes in films there's scenes that aren't strictly necessary, but I like that they're in there. So it's all going to be someone's going to be a bit subjective, you know. You could cut out this scene, but it's maybe quite a fun scene, or you do get a little something out of it.
Mm.
Um,
Then you've got the extreme, like the New Salem's Lot, which I think we've discussed this before, was never ever going to be a 2 hour movie for nobody. That story is far too big. That story should have been like the It movies, split over two, because it is that long and it is that good, but they screwed it up completely by cutting it into a 2 hour movie. And I rewatched it. I was in Turkey when that first came out, so I was relying on other people to tell me what it was I had to watch was any good, because I knew it wasn't going to be good because I knew there was so much trouble behind the scenes.
yeah,
But I didn't realize when you actually watch it, you go, it just doesn't. It's so badly edited, and it's so crying out for a complete version to be done. So it's almost like the studio went, we did whatever remake of Stephen King. Let's do this one. I'm going to do it in 2 hours. It just shows they don't understand the material
yeah,
at all. No, you don't do Salem's Lot. This one is fine run length time, but it's still, it was a couple of instances where I was going 10 seconds, 11 seconds, a wee button,
yeah. I mean,
just force it on.
you could trim it down a bit for sure.
Yeah.
I will
But I mean, it's not
acknowledge
the end
that.
of the world. It's not, there's some movies that really should not be an hour and a half long, never mind freaking 2.5 hours long. But I mean, it's fine. It's Del Toro,
Mm.
so I can live with that.
Yeah, I think if you're a Del Toro fan or a Frankenstein fan, I would highly recommend watching this. If you're not a fan of either of those, I think you still might get a lot out of it.
It is beautiful. I mean, when he burns, it burns the house down. That's what I nearly said at the start. That scene where the house is on fire behind him, and he's
Yeah.
just standing there.
Oh,
It's incredible.
there's some beautiful shots in this movie for sure.
Yeah,
It's also worth noting that like Victor's responsible for the death of a number of people in this, including Mia Goth's character Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like he's responsible for her death, and he blames the creature for that. And the guy who was funding him at the start, Christoph Waltz, he Victor's responsible for his death, and he blames the creature for that as well. So Victor is very much the monster in this movie, and it takes him the movie to realize it, and he because of his actions as well, his brother ends up dying, and just before his brother does die, he says something to Victor that makes Victor realize, oh, okay, I'm I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the cause of a lot of problems in
Well,
our
it's
lives.
because he's so focused on doing this. This idea of conquering death is all consuming.
Yeah, and
So there is
he had no respect for the fact that Elizabeth was going to marry his brother. He was still trying to get with her.
yeah,
So,
dirty dog. But did he not go with her in the original? I think there was a change in
as I
that
said,
sort
it's
of
been a long
story
time
bit.
since I read it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Was Elizabeth
Or
not
me,
killed?
yeah. Well,
Did
see,
the monster? I
in
thought.
the original story, Frankenstein started, or sorry, the monster started killing people that Frankenstein loves, like one by one.
I think she was one of them.
She was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because even that when I was watching it, that's what I'm saying. She's very suddenly power, girl power sort of thing, which is not a bad, but I just think in this instance it was sort of like it didn't fit.
You don't think it was accurate to the time
No,
period?
I don't think it was accurate for the time period, but I was actually thinking about this today. I mean, the likes of the suffragettes and stuff, so all that fighting for women's rights, that's been brewing for years, decades before that. So there's nothing to say she couldn't be. You had Boadicea and Joan of Arc, all them other strong women.
Hmm.
But I just think for this, and it's sort of like Downton Abbey, she would have been a bit more. I think she was only strong for the sake of this movie because the brother was never going to really challenge him.
Right. It's also
Like
worth
she was,
mentioning that Mia Goth's performance is very good. Also, I think she's great in this movie.
yeah.
Have you ever heard her speak in real life?
I don't know.
She sounds really different than she does in the movies.
See, I'm on YouTube now having a look and see what she sounds like.
Yeah, I do. So yeah, the conclusion to this movie I like within the context of this particular version of the story, and I would recommend giving this a watch. Owen, what's your favorite version of Frankenstein? If not this one, what's your in terms of the movies? What's your favorite version
Prob-
that's been done so far?
Probably the original.
Boris Karloff.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite because that's the first ones I ever saw.
I really like it. I
I
have a
say
T-shirt
that.
with him on it.
Have you?
Yeah, it's cool. And also, let
When
us
we
know in the
went to
comments.
Florida, they had a monster Universal Monsters
Say that one more
in
time.
Florida. There's Universal. When we went to Florida, there's Universal Monsters section. So that's what had the creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Bride of Dracula, or no, Bride of Frankenstein. So that all the characters there, and I know that's currently a draw in one of the theme parks. Is the Universal Monsters as I follow them on Instagram. I'm
Hmm.
so jealous. But it's just, I think that for me it's that one, and I think that's also reflected in most people's um sort of preferences because of Monster Squad.
Yeah,
That Monster Squad is a love letter to that era.
which we have also reviewed. If you want to check out our
Yeah,
movies playlist.
yeah, which is it's fine. So that for me, it is yeah, it's that Frankenstein. I didn't like the one in Van Helsing. It was a bit OTT because it's a bit yappy.
I
Every
mean,
time nothing.
Val Helsing's its own sort of animal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's some great ideas, but a lot of it falls on execution and logic as well. I can't remember the name of that guy that played Two Face. He did
Aaron
a
Eckhart.
Frankenstein. That's him.
Is that I
He
Frankenstein? Is that
I
one?
think it's I Frankenstein, something similar. Whereas you had the Supernatural, which were the TV show with Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. They ran up against a family called the Steens. They're actually called the Frankenstein, not the Steins, the Steins,
Yeah.
and they were descendants of Frankenstein. They all survived by bodily transplants.
Hmm.
So if they need a new, if I sit up one morning and go, don't like the look of that arm, get me another one. Have it the next day. It's bizarre. I mean, there's so much you can do from that concept
Hmm.
of putting somebody together from dead body parts and animating that.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's the original. It's Boris Karloff.
Yeah. So you said this movie isn't quite for you. Would you still
Not really.
would you consider it a good movie, even though it's not for you?
Yeah, it's well done. It's just not. It just didn't grab me.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that for sure. Um,
What's
ro-
the connection between Darth Vader and Frankenstein?
there's an the actor, is it?
The actor Dave Price.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a great Frankenstein.
Was
I
it
think it
not?
was Hammer. No, I think it was Hammer Howard did that one.
I recently watched The Curse of Frankenstein.
Or did you?
Peter
Oh, it's on
Cushing, is it?
YouTube.
Uh, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat Peter Cushing.
That's an
I love.
interesting version as well.
That's Hammer Horror. They would all out. I mean, you watched that, and I watched the drag. Remember, we were talking about films that Cushing and Lee starred in as Van Helsing and Dracula together,
Mm.
and the very first one, what do you call him, Christopher Lee as Dracula is just so normal. He's just like a businessman. He's running about in his big cape and all, but he's like, "Hello, Mister Harker," and "Oh, there's your papers," and "Oh, what about the family?" and "Happy Christmas." And next thing, he's turning the throat out of some woman, and he just it's the contrast is so brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Businessman and the monster, and the just the way they shot it with the fangs, it looks like a snake, a cobra, one of them snakes about to strike. It's really, really well done. You can see why Hammer got the reputation. I just don't think they got it with Frankenstein. But I
Right.
think the vampires and science fiction.
Would you like to see Del Toro tackle another classic monster, such as Wolfman, Dracula?
I am waiting for it. No, Wolfman to keep messing up. Don't be touching my werewolves. I'm so disappointed with it. There's two werewolf movies coming out in January.
Ooh.
Um, I'm Frenzy Moon. Not really expecting a awful lot from that. And one called uh, Werewolf, Wolfen or something.
Hmm.
I can't remember. I was looking at the trailers the other night. I really want, and I've heard this before, that he was going to do it and he never did it. The creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, class.
I would love to see that one done again
Yeah. Yeah.
by him. Don't give it to any or fucking Rob Zombie or nobody like that. No, it has to be Del Toro. I think
You can
if
tell
anybody's
that
going to bring it back,
you can
it's
tell
him.
you can tell that Del Toro really loves his monsters.
Yeah,
You can tell he's
yeah.
really passionate about his monsters.
He made Blade 2 so special because of the design of the vampires, the Reapers.
They
Those
were quite
Reapers were
cool,
the
yeah, yeah, they were cool.
yeah, and I can't remember, was that before or after Predator? Oh, Quinn, your
Um,
memory.
that must have been after for sure, right?
Was it after?
It must have
Because I
been.
thought maybe the Predator stole their jaws. But just the state of the way that the design of it was just amazing.
Yeah,
He really does think about it. Even Pan's Labyrinth.
I love Pan's Labyrinth. I think it's a
I
great
mean,
movie.
Doug Jones in those monster costumes is just Jones is just born for that sort of thing.
We'll have to do more Del Toro movies. There's so much to talk about within them.
Well, and the Strain.
I
The
haven't seen
Strain
all
was
the
very
Strain.
good.
I've only seen a few episodes, and it looked really
Oh my
interesting.
Jesus! What have you been doing all your life? You can't be like Kung Fu.
Watching just kung fu in my whole
You're
life.
not Hong Kong fucking fooey 24/7.
I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Who else is going to defend Earthrealm from the forces of Shao Kahn?
Well, when Shao Kahn, whoever the fuck that is, comes, I
Mortal
don't think
Kombat.
I don't know. I like the music. I like that wee dance music from the
Oh, it's
Mortal
class.
Kombat.
Love it.
That's brilliant. I forgot Christopher Lambert was in that until I seen that video.
Yeah, as Lord Raiden.
Yeah. Thanks, Christopher, for cancelling the convention the night before when I had sitting there with my comic, my Highlander comic, ready to be signed, and you didn't turn up. Thanks very much for
We'll
that.
just assume he had a really good reason. We'll give him the
They said
benefit.
he was sick.
Well, there you go.
All right, but at 6 o'clock the night before, I was sick at the weekend, and I still finished a story and dreamt there was a frog.
That I have to say that was probably the most interesting intro we've ever done.
Isn't it? But somebody says to me, "Oh, you're just a bit weird." I says, "No, just these things. I don't know why they happen to me and come to me,
but
but it
but
was
they
almost
do.
like God. Do you know what I'm going to do for you this weekend? I'm going to make you a talking frog that's being chased by it, Pennywise." Really? Okay.
Yeah. So Frankenstein, I recommend it. I think Owen sort of does as well. I think he
I
likes
mean,
it.
watch it to be completist.
Yeah.
Um, get a few drinks in you, like.
Yeah.
Because you'd be sitting, as I said, you're sitting in the house watching this. You're not sitting in the cinema, so you control the narrative, as they say in the Outer Limits or the Twilight Zone. Can't remember which one.
Mm.
Intro. We control the horizontal and the vertical. Um, it's up to you, but I mean, it is beautifully done. It is greatly shot. It's still Taro. So, I mean, if you want a comparison, not every Doctor Who episode's great, but you watch it anyway.
There you go. All right, that's it for today. So we have uh, the Running Man to talk about soon as well. I think myself and Jack are going to cover that. Um,
What one?
the Arnie one, and
Hmm.
then we will watch the new one and maybe compare the two. If you, I have recently set up a Patreon for the channel, so if you want to join that, you can do so for free, or you can become a member and get early access and exclusive content.
Yeah.
There will be a
I
link
have
in.
also I have also set up a Patreon to pay off the credit union.
There you go. So there will be a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. Um,
Florida, here I come.
there you go. If you enjoyed our Battle of the Batmen video, that Owen's died again. If you
That's the
enjoyed
check.
our Owen, you have to be silent for a minute.
I can't. I'm choking to death here with a chest infection.
Give yourself the Heimlich maneuver. Um,
I know.
if you enjoyed our fiction fight tournament that myself and Jack had done with Battle of the Batmen, members can vote on what we do next. So your options are action heroes, Batman villains, or horror villains. So go check that out, throw a vote, and we shall do something fun with that. Owen, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Instagram, the Time Warriors author, Twitter, the Irish author, and the website is the Time Warriors and Beyond, www.theTimeWarriors.co.uk. I have noticed the traffic has went up recently in the last few weeks, so hopefully that's you guys reacting to the stuff that we're putting out, so you can have a look at that and read excerpts from the books, read articles. You want some villains and heroes and monsters and robots? You'll find them in the Forgotten Classic Heroes section.
There you go. There's lots of fun content on Owen's website, so go check that out also. Okay. Anything else to say before we head off, Owen?
Um,
How's your
please
go for it?
buy our books. Our books are very good. Do you know what I'm getting really tired of in the last week? Is reading, oh, we're rebooting such and such, and we're rebooting this, and
There's
we're
so
rebooting
much of
that.
that going on, yeah.
And I'm sort of looking at going, you do know these books are here, and it's not just my books. Um, And I will never, if you ever meet me, I'll not tell you, oh, you have to read my books. My books are so good. They're amazing. I let everybody else tell me what they think. So the first book I put out was The Time Warrior's First Footsteps. Um, and it was sent by a friend of mine to the reviewers on Amazon, and it was glowing. It was really a glowing review, and it was exactly what I wanted. What I was hoping to achieve rather than wanted to hear. Um,
Yeah.
and we're now sitting at over 50 plus Time Warriors adventures, over 11 books. We have 17 zombie blue stories over a trilogy, and now we have 8 Tales from Balan Free. And we're just missing that element of the mainstream, same as yourself. The stuff's there, the good stuff's there. People just aren't looking for it because everybody's caught up in this reboot thing. So I think try and support us independence. And I don't mean buy the books. Buy the books would be great. Kindle's only $1.99. But have a look at our websites, have a look at our stuff. See what you think. Message us, talk to us, get conversations going, because we're quite willing to
There you
chat to
go.
everybody and sort of get the word out there.
Get in touch.
Ireland is, here's our final message. Ireland is the land of saints and scholars, but the world's forgotten. Help us put Ireland back in the map as both saints and scholars.
There you go. Final wise words from Owen Quinn.
Oh, just call me Yoda. Just call me Yoda. Get
Yogurt.
me ears. I'm getting me ears trimmed back. But you know what I mean? It's frustrating. So
Yeah, you just gotta keep.
that's our plea to the world. Come and visit us.
You just gotta keep
It's
at it.
free.
All right, everyone. On that note, we shall be back next week. Take care.